For decades, churches around Springfield and across the country have worked together to bring holiday cheer to children in need around the world. Everything from toothbrushes to teddy bears are delivered to these children with the help of Operation Christmas Child.
Operation Christmas Child is the world's largest Christmas program of its kind. We pack shoeboxes with gifts, all kinds of gifts, hygiene items, school supplies, a stuffed animal, something that a child would consider to be a wow item, something that really grabs their attention, things that they would love, and also some things that they would need.
The goal is that each child who participates in the program fills out a shoebox full of presents, little toys, toothbrushes, things like that, and Operation Christmas Child will package them all and send them over to children in need.
It's a good outreach to the countries that don't have as much and the children who don't ever get very much.
Knowing that you're a part of a project that is helping kids throughout the world that you'll never meet, who have never received any kind of a gift in their life, to see them have joy, thinking that somebody somewhere cares about them enough to send them a gift. I really like that. I think that's great.
Operation Christmas Child not only helps children in need around the world, but it also teaches kids in the United States about sharing and caring.
I enjoy the fact that it teaches everyone to think of someone beyond themselves.
I enjoy watching our grandchildren now because we help them pack a shoebox and watch them get excited about the things and gifts that they want to send to some child that they don't know. Watching them have fun doing that, and then hoping at the same time that they learn that it's good to help others in need, especially when they've been blessed with a lot and so many children are blessed with nothing.
It's fun thinking about not only what I would like, but what other people might like as well.
I love the fact that you can pack a simple shoebox, just a simple gift that will show a child that God loves them. Every shoebox that is delivered is packed with the gospel message in that child's native language.
Signing off for Central Intelligence, this has been Sai Vuda and Levi Graham reporting.
It's more of just a reminder as on a daily basis, like when I wake up and he's not there, or when I get home from school and it's just my mom. I guess it's not much of a burden, but it's just a constant dread.
Having one or both parents in prison, while uncommon, is a situation faced by some students. While not typically discussed, the unique experiences of these students can help open minds to unaddressed topics.
My experience actually goes back to when I was a teenager in high school. My best friend ended up spending 10 years in a state penitentiary. And through that experience and connection with him, I have a hypersensitivity to those types of kids. And so when a couple of kids came through my class, including Kimberly was one of them, it was easy for me to connect with him.
It's a thing that I don't really tell most people because there is the taboo where they associate me with my father's crimes.
I mean, it's definitely there, but I'm really not affected by what other people think about it, honestly. It's my cross to bear.
Because it's a thing that I live with, and it's a thing I've lived with for almost 5 years now, but it's a thing that I am living with. It's a thing that I'm growing from. It's not an ailment in any way.
I've learned that you kind of have to fend for yourself and make smart decisions if you want to actually succeed in life. It's definitely something that forces you to look at what you're doing all the time.
I teach classes that promote success, and it's sometimes difficult to reach students on that level to get them to understand that, even though you are facing difficulties or in the middle of difficulties, you can still have success in your life.
And I feel like that's the biggest misconception, that because my father messed up, that means that I will follow in his footsteps, rather than it affecting me in the opposite way, where I understand his mistakes and how he's now having to face the consequences, and thus am straying farther away from those mistakes.
There are ways to help better this situation, even as a high school student.
Engage them and ask them if they want to talk about it. you can have some really good dialogue, and you can learn a lot about empathy and sympathy and compassion.
In order to normalize it, you need to discuss it like it's a normal thing and not a taboo topic.
Signing off for Central Intelligence, this has been Nick Wiley as videographer and Amy Demir reporting.
Around Central, there are many different holidays and traditions that students and teachers celebrate.
A celebration that me and my family celebrate is something called Advent. Advent is primarily a European celebrated holiday.
When I lived in an orphanage for 12 years, during Christmas, there were people who come from different places like America and stuff like that. And they came to the orphanage and celebrate parties.
To celebrate Hanukkah, my family does the same traditions as any Jewish family would. My family lights a menorah every night, and the way that it works is you add a candle every night of Hanukkah. So for example, on the first night, we light the first candle. On the second night, we light the first candle and the second candle. So by the 8th night, there are 8 candles, but there are actually 9 because you use a special candle called the shamash, which you use to light all of the other candles, and you have a new shamash every night.
We do plenty of the Christmas holiday celebrations. We do the tree and presents, we decorate. Usually the day after Thanksgiving we decorate. And then sometimes we do some solstice celebrations, some winter solstice as well, where we we'll burn a Yule log, and members of the family will write down like their wishes for the next year or things that they'd like to see happen, and they kind of fold those up and burn those in the Yule log.
During Christmas year, in the orphanage, there was in the street, which is the street I used to live, was Managua. And there was a lot of cars and buses, Christmas buses with Christmas car, and there was a lot of people celebrating Christmas. So Christmas, there was like Santa Claus, there was his people dressed as Santa Claus, elf, and reindeer and stuff like that. And they were just passing by, giving gifts to everybody.
Many teachers and students believe that it's important to recognize all the different kinds of holidays and traditions celebrated here at Central.
I think it's important for people around Central to learn about these so that they can understand different parts of people's cultures. It's not just Christmas and Hanukkah. There are also smaller holidays that go on that are very important to people.
I do think it's important that at Central we celebrate all sorts of traditions and all of the different holidays that happen in the winter, because everyone deserves to feel recognized and to have everyone else understand their culture and celebrate it with them.
Well, you know, as we celebrate diversity, you know, in our community and here at Central, I think it's important to recognize that families may have different celebrations.
Wishing you a happy holidays. This has been Emma Steingraber and Emily Beach reporting.
Get up out of your desk and get a hands-on education at the OTC Career Center for high school juniors and seniors. There are 19 career paths to choose from, and it's free. Students earn college credit, and they're prepared to get a job when they graduate. A hands-on education that helps you get a job or a jump start on college is what makes the OTC Career Center a unique high school experience. Talk to your high school counselor or visit otc.edu/career center to learn more.
A shortage of nurses has caused issues in communities across the nation. Affected by this shortage, the City of Springfield recently received a $3 million federal grant. This grant aims to help 372 students receive free nursing education and licensing at OTC.
The America's Promise Grant will impact 3 different programs. The first will be the Certified Nurse Assistant, and it is an entry level to get into the healthcare field, get exposure to nursing and other healthcare professions. The second is Associate of Science in Nursing, and that program is for a licensed practical nurse who's already an LPN to bridge up to an RN. And then the third one is our newest, it's Behavioral Health Support Program.
We've been hearing from the employers that they're struggling with filling these positions. We've been talking to the different schools, finding out that they're having trouble kind of filling, or that there's not enough of the resources necessarily to fill the class. So getting this grant to help with the funding aspect of it, that really helps on all of the different angles to kind of fuel the pipeline.
We actually have the hospitals come and recruit our students, our nursing students, before they even graduate.
And then someone can actually be working in the health field while they're pursuing, further degrees and things like that.
There is research that has proven that the better the ratio of nurses to patients, the better the patient outcomes.
This funding is easily accessible to students with an interest in nursing and other health occupations.
We really want to make sure that money is not the thing holding someone back on doing the program. So if they need a little bit of extra assistance, then we want to make sure that we're helping provide that.
They can either contact OTC, the Allied Health Department, or the Center for Workforce Development. Either one will be able to give them the details on how to get started and how to apply.
The grant would really help me personally because I don't come from a very wealthy family and I could use the money to get through school.
This financial boost will allow students to pursue what they truly enjoy about nursing.
I just want to be a nurse because I like helping people, and I always know that there's always going to be a need for healthcare.
Most people forget nurses, they're just kind of like the people who do all the work in the hospital.
If you truly are going into it for the right reasons, you really have to have an interest in people and the common good.
Signing off for Central Intelligence, this has been Sydney Weber and Chase Eckley reporting.
Sean Askinosie opened his business Askinosie Chocolate with the goal of supporting farmers across the world. Shortly after opening his business, Sean started Chocolate University, which encourages local students to view the world from a new perspective.
Our students don't ever really get to see a business from the inside, and they don't ever get to see a business from the economic standpoint.
Melissa Gellner, Executive Director of Chocolate University, shared her perspective on the learning program.
Our goal, the mission for that, is to help them to understand that the world is bigger than just Springfield, and to have a knowledge that there's little steps that can make big changes.
Askinosie Chocolate works with Boyd Elementary and Pipkin Middle School students about every 6 weeks, and this summer offered SPS Explore students the chance to learn about the chocolate making business.
We did a lot of things during the summer. We did projects and presentations about the origins of the chocolate, on the countries where they came from.
My favorite part was making the truffles. And the other thing was the tour that he gave us, because I really enjoyed knowing how the factory works and how their chocolate is made.
We do some work with them around the global awareness and kind of global perspective of how things are, just what life is like in different countries, especially developing countries.
I learned how to make chocolate and other kinds of stuff, and how they help people from other places and do fair trade.
We ask our students to take action. This Askinosie Connection, they're making change internationally as well. So it broadens the scope of what kids think about.
Through a commitment to fairness, sustainability, and community enhancement, Sean Askinosie has inspired all of those who hear his story.
Every so often we'll literally fly to Tanzania or Ecuador or Honduras or the Philippines and personally exchange money to a farmer in that country for their product. Their business practice is direct trade.
Since we started our Product of Change project, we have fed over 500,000 students in different Tanzania and in the Philippines. So we share stories like that small businesses and individual people can make really big differences.
I like Sean and the work he did with us because he showed us how to make chocolate, and he showed us where he puts his cocoa beans.
I like the work that he does because it makes an impact on other people's lives, and just like me, he inspires others.
Signing off for Central Intelligence, this has been Cassie Parmenter, videographer, and Anna Skaliski reporting.